Shakur Stevenson called him a duck. He claims he sent you a contract to fight him when the WBC ordered you to fight.
2024 may be the best year yet for boxing folks based on the upcoming fights. There's Jake Paul and the legendary Mike Tyson fight to look forward to. And now, we will be getting a fight between Shakur Stevenson and Isaac Cruz. Yeah, that sounds like an interesting one, but some things are hanging around the table for the fight, which still makes folks doubt if it would happen for real. Shakur Stevenson and Isaac Cruz going head-to-head is just another reason to believe the boxing community and fans want action, but there may be a problem with the matchup. We will come back to that in a minute.
I tried to make it happen because everybody wanted to comment on my opponent and like, oh, he's not that good. He's a bum.
Isaac Cruz has definitely cruised his way into rolling with the champions and top fighters in the sport after beating Rolando Romero a few months back. Pitbull Cruz made no hesitation as he wrestled the WBA Super Lightweight World Championship away from Rolando Romero. Pitbull Cruz was determined to take the belt home, and he did. The T-Mobile Arena witnessed an unexpected, heated exchange of punches between Raleigh and Cruz. Raleigh wasn't willing to lose his belt, but Cruz was determined to snatch it away.
Rolly Romero embraces it, but he favors Cruz due to his fighting style by Davis. Cruz took Davis to 12-round distance.
Cruz took the win after he threw about 6 shots at Raleigh's head, which led to the referee having to stop the fight at 56 seconds of the 8th round. According to Cruz, he didn't enter the ring with the sole purpose of winning. He claimed he wanted to win and even massacre Raleigh and make him eat all the garbage he said to him before the fight. Cruz claimed he fought, intending to leave the decision out of the judge's hands. Oh well, Pitbull Cruz did leave the decision out of the judge's hands, for real. The Mexican fighter dominated the match so badly that Rolando Romero had to be checked by a doctor at the ringside before he went for the 8th round, which later brought about Cruz's win. Aside from Cruz wanting to make Raleigh eat his words, he was aiming for another thing, and that was entering the masterclass in the big league boxing category. Cruz knocking Raleigh out had a major impact on his career, which has been one of the reasons Cruz's management has been stalling from making Shakur Stevenson an opponent for Cruz. Okay, y'all can be the judge after knowing about Stevenson's last fight. Stevenson's last fight with Edwin De Los Santos was tagged as one of the most boring fights in history. Yeah, Shakur Stevenson was named the winner of the match after a unanimous victory decision was made. But the thousands of people watching booed Shakur during and after the fight. While De Los Santos kept aiming and looking for ways to throw punches at Shakur in a meaningful way, Shakur kept running around the ring while dodging the shots and not throwing anything back. Edwin De Los Santos was as frustrated as the fans. Or should we say he was more frustrated? He must have been more frustrated because the 12-round fight resulted in a waste of time for Edwin De Los Santos, as his opponent was neither willing to throw nor receive punches.
Nice.
Two of it, but to your point, Mark, it has been the...
Yeah, Shakur walked away with the vacant WBC lightweight title, but De Los Santos didn't feel like a loser. According to De Los Santos, he put more pressure on Shakur and even acted like a real fighter, while all Shakur did was wiggle around the ring till the 36th minute when the match ended. Even Shakur knew he basically pushed his luck till the end of the match. Shakur apologized to his fans, who came out to watch an interesting match, and he entertained them with a boring one. It was just like a bad performance for anyone to witness. Folks felt Shakur had more in him than he could offer, but his match with Edwin De Los Santos ended that thought. As it stands, Shakur Stevenson has to work twice as hard to prove himself again to his fans and even his opponents. You're wondering why he has to prove himself to his opponents? Oh well, listen carefully to this. Shakur's fight with Edwin De Los Santos was completely disappointing. Now, no one wants to enter the ring with Shakur because he would make them have a boring game. One of those people who aren't interested in taking up a match with Shakur Stevenson is Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Cruz's manager didn't stutter when he declared that Shakur's defensive approach would lead to a boring fight. Cruz's manager, Sean Gibbons, mentioned how the super lightweight is now one of the most exciting divisions in boxing. He said everyone aims to fight in the 140-pound weight class aside from Shakur Stevenson, According to Sean Gibbons, Shakur is the fighter nobody wants to watch regardless of what weight class he's at.
We said we want to fight. We want to fight Ryan. We want to fight Rollies. We want to fight anybody. Anybody but Shakur Stevenson. I'm happy he retired. Thank God.
Sean added that Shakur has a boring, ugly, and terrible style, and that is enough for any fighter not to be interested in having a match with him, including Isaac Cruz. However, Sean's statement about Shakur isn't far from the truth. Most people don't want to fight Shakur due to his style of fighting. Shakur's last fight with the top-ranked fighters will be Artem Harutyunyan, and he's trying his best to look for more. Shakur's first choice was Isaac Cruz, and both Cruz and his team kept declining Shakur's offer because they felt it wouldn't have any impact or add value to Cruz's career. In fact, it's like a stain on his career that he's just building. Interestingly, Shakur also had eyes on Gervonta Tank Davis as his opponent. This gets more interesting, as Tank Davis was one of the signature fights that made Isaac Cruz more popular in the boxing community. Isaac may be a world champion now, as declared by his team, but Tank Davis still made sure to keep his clean sheet streak when they met in the ring. Even though Tank also said he wouldn't like a rematch with Isaac Cruz, he still didn't allow Cruz to be the one to stain his clean sheet. But y'all should know it wasn't an easy fight for Tank the Great. Of all of Tank Davis's opponents, Isaac Cruz seemed to be the toughest. Even Tank Davis knew he was paired with a real fighter. None of his other opponents could measure up to Cruz's punching weight and the tough time he gave Tank before he could win. The irony is that Shakur Stevenson is looking forward to fighting with Gervonta Tank Davis too. Shakur just wants to do something out of his league, as the remaining opponents have been telling him. On Tank Davis's part, Tank knows it would be a really easy fight for him, but he still isn't ready to consider the possibility. Tank's reason isn't because fighting against Shakur would be a boring fight. It's because he feels there would be no gain in it for him.
I should be back in March, probably even April.
And which opponent are you looking at?
It may be Cambosis because
Their weight class is different, so if Tank beats Shakur as folks expect, Tank won't have any profit, as its money prize is low compared to the type of money prizes Tank fights for. However, Shakur would benefit even if he didn't win, because his name would be paired with an A-list fighter, like Gervonta Tank Davis. Shakur has been edging Tank to accept fighting with him, the same thing he's doing with Isaac Cruz. But these fighters feel they wouldn't gain anything from fighting with Shakur, so they aren't willing to accept the match. However, there's been a clause with Isaac Cruz not accepting to fight with Shakur Stevenson. According to sources, the president of the World Boxing Council, Mauricio Sulaiman, announced during the sanctioning organization convention in Acapulco, Mexico, that Shakur and Cruz must fight next if they want a chance to become the World Boxing Council's mandatory challenger in the 135-pound weight class. Folks are trying to figure out if Mauricio just wants to see these two fighters in a match for the sake of it, or if what he said is truly a requirement to be involved in the 135-pound weight class. Regardless of whichever option it is, it now seems like Isaac Cruz may have to dance to Shakur's tune at the end of the day. If the president of the World Boxing Council suggests a match, it's not certain Cruz and his team can object to it, except there are health issues involved. It's obvious that the Mexican fighter isn't interested in entering the ring with Shakur as his opponent, but it is what it is. If they have to enter the ring in the long run, he would have to do it. What's the worst that could happen? Everyone is familiar with Shakur Stevenson, always claiming he would be some type of hero to flaw the streak of fighters like Gervonta Tank Davis and even Isaac Cruz. But judging by Davis and Cruz's offense and defense in the ring compared to that of Shakur, even an individual not familiar with the sport will easily say either one of those two fighters will beat Shakur Stevenson, except he has perfected his skills in some ways he has not shown the world yet. Tank Davis once talked about how he has never seen any outrageous thing or move Shakur has done in all his fights. Davis took hot shots at Shakur when he wouldn't stop saying he wanted to go head-to-head with him. Anyway, Shakur claimed people would go back to the interview where he said he could beat Gervonta Davis and realize he was telling the truth. Guess what? Davis fired back that Shakur was no match for him, regardless of anything he did. Shakur's win in his fight with Edwin de los Santos made him gain the WBC lightweight title, but he will never be respected in the boxing community. Folks felt Shakur didn't deserve it as he didn't put on an A game during the fight. He kept moving around. As Tank Davis once said, the 26-year-old is believed to have played his game of ducking and moving till the 12th round when the match ended. That's some really lame stuff. Even Shakur himself knew it wasn't cool. He kept apologizing to his fans for his poor performance. These other fighters are not ready for such fights. They need intense pressure matches to make their fans crave more, because that is what the sport is all about.
They said no. His team said no. His manager said no. His father said no. I want to fight them.
It might be Shakur's strategy to dodge punches and move his way around till he gets a win. But other fighters don't believe in the same technique, so they would rather not fight against him as an opponent. Isaac Cruz and Shakur Stevenson may later have to meet in the ring sooner than we expect. Still, folks already have it in mind that Pitbull Cruz will definitely take the win regardless of whatever techniques Shakur uses. Don't get it twisted. It's not like Shakur Stevenson doesn't know how to throw good punches. He just prefers to play it simple and get his way. But others don't feel the same way, and we wouldn't even blame them. It's called boxing for a reason. So, do you think Isaac Cruz will succumb to President Mauricio's decision? Or do you think he and his management will defy the orders and won't still agree to have a match with Shakur Stevenson? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on celebrity news updates.